Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another stream. Let me change my title so everybody doesn't get all confused. Because today is not Saturday, it is Monday. All right. So, as we wait for people to trickle in, we are going to go and check out some Star Citizen news, of course. All right, so let me open that up. Let's see. Let's start out with we'll do com links and then we'll do the dev tracker. All right, no new com links, as to be expected on a Monday, but I did think that we were gonna get a weekly This Week in Star Citizen, and it looks like we did not get a This Week in Star Citizen. Because I would assume that a This Week in Star Citizen today would mean that, yeah, if we did This Week in Star Citizen today, that would have told us what day Coremore is officially starting, but we can assume it starts Friday. But I've heard people say that it sometimes starts Thursday, the Thursday before. I don't even remember what day it started last year. I'm sure I made content about it. I just don't remember. So then we look at the dev tracker. Not a whole lot in here. It looks like there was some stuff about playability. So let's check out that. All right, as we wait for people to trickle in, let's talk a little bit about this here. So I'll read it and then we can kind of talk about it a little bit. This looks pretty interesting at least. Hi team. Last week we had an amazing insight on the current high-level plans on making the overall gameplay experience much more consistent. I'm really glad CIG is prioritizing playability this year, even if it means less frequent content featured updates. While the CTO talked in length about the 2025 focus regarding back-end systems and refactors, my question concerns the other teams, the FPS team in particular, when it comes to playability and quality of life. I think we all would love to know what this could entail for the overall FPS experience. I'm not just talking about combat, of course, but anything from item interaction, animation balancing, general bug fixes. Could we get a glimpse into the planned approach for this year's playability focus when it comes to FPS-related items? So I do believe Zach Priest replied to this. So, still intend on delivering FPS playability and quality of life this year. FPS health in terms of playability and is very important for the content we're making, so it comes alongside the content. My personal belief is that this will be the most exciting year for FPS for Star Citizen. I have a big list of quality of life fixes I want, and I'm intending on getting them into the PU. We did a lot of nice quality of life last year in terms of the action matrix, breaking out of reloads, auto queuing charge shots, and intend on delivering more of that. And I think he replied 2 or 3 times. Or was that all just one reply? maybe it was just one. Yeah, look at that. Looks like it was just one. I thought I saw more in there. What if we go back here? Here, let's see. Oh yeah, some of them you just can't see. It says, no, neither one of these was relevant. I guess that's why. Let me see. So in another part, he says, so in summary, once we can have a very limited amount of weapons having damage modifiers on, we can happily give these to NPCs and the guns can trickle down into shops, as it's nice to give newer weapons some prestige. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Welcome, Full Nelson, Citizen Ninja, Sand Chimera, Matthew Ward, Ristal, Disarray, Space Marine, what's up? Blue 4, what's up? How is my fight for Pyro going? It has not gone at all. So Saturday was the last day that I actually attempted to play. I intended to try to play again tonight, but I have a meeting at 7:30, so I have to go to that. So the next time I will attempt to play is probably going to be Wednesday night. So we shall see. We shall see. Well, I might hop in tomorrow to do some stuff with the either tonight or tomorrow, but it'll be specifically so that I can finish the review part for the Missed Fortune. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so Cormor happens on the 11th. Thanks, Citizen Ninja. I knew it wasn't the 14th, but I thought somebody told me it was the 14th. And so I was just like, man, I haven't seen that anywhere. So I was like, maybe it was the day before or something. So maybe that's why they didn't do the This Week in Star Citizen thing today. Maybe that we'll get it tomorrow. Oh, it is up. How come I didn't see it? Hold on, let me see. What? It was posted 5 minutes ago? Like, that is wild. Look at this. Look at this. This is wild. I literally just came here exactly 6 minutes ago. And it wasn't here. It was still, the stable universe thing was still up there. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Come on. CIG, don't do that to me. All right. Monday, Star Citizen Comms Dive with SCCD. Our last post was met with a ton of feedback, ton of positive feedback. All right. Tuesday, Spectrum Comms will glow with warmth as we kick off this year's Cormor. Okay, so it is tomorrow. Perfect. Look at Anvil's latest Hornet offerings with 2 for 2 in the newest episode of Behind the Ships. And if that's not enough, the Fight for Pyro event enters its 3rd phase as the story unfolds for the citizens of For Prosperity, the Headhunters, and the Frontier Fighters. On Thursday, we finally get Inside Star Citizen. And then they're going to focus on the Fight for Pyro. And then Friday, we'll see the weekly RSI newsletter. Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I'll definitely be doing a video for Cormor 2025. The intent was to get the Missed Fortune review up before Cormor. Oh, life doesn't work that way sometimes. The Super Hornet Mark II, as always, we kind of knew that was coming, right? So I would guess that We're also getting 4.0.2 either tomorrow or, well, at least this week. Um, but I can finally get my Heartseeker. Hey! So, you know what I'll start doing? Or what I should start doing? I should start saving these images. Well, I'll do that part later. But I think I want to start saving those images. They're all really cool. And I want to just have like a screenshot folder where I just go through all of that. But that's cool. Glad we finally got it. Shout out to the dual streamers. Much appreciation. As always. I think I already said hey to everybody. I think Yeti, what's up? So you are getting the Heat Seeker? The Heartseeker? I think you meant the Heartseeker. Yes, I am getting the Heartseeker. I so I have a Razer EX that is probably not too far away from the price of the Heartseeker. But we'll see if I have all of the CCUs to get there, because I probably do. I don't know. At 155, I'm guessing I'm missing one CCU, but I'm not sure. What's up, Raygun? I'm not sure. I think I might be missing one CCU to get there. But I have a bunch of extras, so we'll see. And, you know, if it doesn't turn out to be what I like, I have an exit plan for that one, which is to either get a, actually, let me look that up real quick, because I think that's a good exit plan, but I didn't actually look it up to make sure I was right. I think I just kind of thought it in my head. So let me see. Yeah, so I did. It is a good exit plan. So there's a few other vehicles that I could go to that still fit my heavy fighter thing, right? So I'm not sure that I'm not sure how much this will cost, but the Scorpius is $240, right? So that's the other two-seater that I could go to, and it would still fill that same purpose. So, you know, that's the kind of the exit plan is the Scorpius. But if for some reason I'm not into that, I could still, of course, go to the Guardian QI, which would then give me an interdictor, because that's one of the things I do not have. Um, and I think that's pretty much it. I think after you go past the Guardian QI, there's only really the F8C, which I have two of those, so I don't need that one. And I don't think there's any. Is there any fighters? I don't think there's any fighters above the $300 mark. I think. Oh no, we got the glaive, the glaive, of course. The glaive is 350. So yeah, but I don't think I would ever have a glaive. I mean, we'll see. We'll see when it comes out if I think it's worth it. Um, but I don't think I will think that it's worth it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Oh, and the scythe. I forgot the scythe is 300 as well, but obviously can't get that. Yeah, I'm I'm excited because there's not a whole lot of ships that I still want in Star Citizen. I have a list of like, well, if I get the opportunity, I suppose I could add these as long as it's extremely cheap, right? Like, you know, nothing more than $100, right? And it would also have to be like I would have to have a ship already in my fleet that can go to it. But yeah, I don't have a lot of ships that I even want. I have a list though, I think. I think I have a list of ships. I think I finally finished the list of ships that I would potentially add if the circumstances were perfect. Let me look at my fleet here. So, I think the Zeus MR, the Reliant Sin. Well, I'll just give you a few of them. I don't want to read this whole list. Zeus MR, Reliant Sin, but I would not get the Zeus MR if I was to get the Guardian QI. Even though they are slightly different, I wouldn't get both. The Reliant Sin, but that's only because science is my thing. But I have to find a good skin for it because I don't like the skin on the Sin. The skin on the Sin. Then the Talon. And I think the E1. Was that? Is that 4? That's 4. So then after that would probably be the Firebird. So Zeus MR, Reliant Sin, Talon, E1, and Firebird. Those are the next 5 ships that could potentially make it onto the fleet. Very unlikely that all of those ships will make it onto the fleet. The circumstances would have to be pretty much perfect for those to make it onto the fleet because I don't particularly need any of those ships. And then, of course, the exceptions that I had mentioned before. I think when I did that fleet video, I kind of talked about some exceptions to that rule of being done, and it would be extremely rare ships or new ships that can do something that none of the other ships in my fleet can do, right? So that would be like, no, I have repair capital. I'm trying to think of something. I guess when I think of like the Reliant Sin, the reason that's in there is because I don't have a dedicated science ship outside of the Endeavor, but even then the Endeavor is not really dedicated to science. It just is heavily capable of science, but it can still do medical and it can still do technically farming, I guess. So, and farming might be a part of science at the end of the day. So, I don't know about that part either. But yeah, like a dedicated science ship, I could see that being a thing. And maybe there's some other types of gameplay that just aren't out there. Maybe we get a smaller mine layer or something like that. To where you don't have to take the Nautilus out every single time. There's a lot of different things that could happen. An anvil capital, things like that. So yeah, those are kind of my exceptions. But I also think those things are also unlikely, considering the what people are talking about. My racer will be the Razor. I have a P-72 Archimedes Emerald, which is my favorite. That one can definitely race. I think it's the fastest ship in the game. And then I have Aviticus is asking this, by the way. Then I have my Razor EX will return. I won't have it for probably like 6 months, and then that'll come back. And that will be my other racer. And I don't think any of my other ships are fast enough. I mean, I got an X1 Force, but that's not fast. If I ever get my hands on a Nox Q, I would race with that probably. like hover bike racing with that. Um, I'm sure there will be Atlas racing in the future. That's another one that's an exception if they come out with like a um, another Atlas suit or something like that. But yeah, I think that's it. The Mercury Star Runner used to be super fast. So maybe in a race, uh, maybe if they do racing with ships that are not built solely for racing, then I could see racing with the Mercury Star Runner. But after that, I think that's pretty much it. All the rest of my ships are extremely slow or combat related. Yeah. Let's see. Are any of these fast? None of these are fast. None of these. None of these. Yeah. Maybe they'll do like some medical racing with the Apollos or something. That's all I can think of. But yeah, racing isn't really like my primary. It's not one of my primary goals in Star Citizen. It's more of something like I have ships that can do it, and I think that's good for me. Um, but my biggest problem with racing right now is um, it is actually one of the few gameplay loops that's pretty much complete. Like a race is a race, right? The only thing I wish is they had more missions for it in the game, where it was like, you just meet at a place and then there's, AI that's like meets you there, kind of like the way it was in Grand Theft Auto, where when you got the race and all it was you just went and you stood in front of a place for a while, and then all of the other cars showed up, and then you just went, right? I think that's kind of a good way to do it for this game, where like the race is at midnight on Hurston at this location, and then boom, you just show up there, or maybe they give you coordinates or something, and so you would be the only person that knows. That way, you wouldn't have like other people, you know, interfering in the race or something like that. It needs to be fleshed out a little bit, but you can race anytime, anywhere. And you could technically put money up for it, but you can't guarantee that, people will actually pay out after they lose. So there's that. Oh, the Heartseeker's nose cone art stays there even if you change the livery. That is awesome. I did not know that. Oh, and thank you, Arthur Vandelay. Arthur Vandelay always coming through. I appreciate that. We always appreciate the donations around here. We need it to keep the lights on. This stuff back here isn't cheap. What else we got? Yes, so I didn't answer that. I am getting the Heartseeker. Um, what's up, Burger Pops? Yes, I am missing the Prospector. Yes, yes. The next Prospector, I'm missing that, and I'm missing the Prospector for like everything, and then I'm missing either a Sentinel or Vanguard Harbinger upgrade, which those are a little bit more rare, I think. But the most common time that I see them is at Invictus. So if we don't get either one, I'll give it a full year before I skip. Anytime I'm gonna skip a CCU, I tend to give it a full year if the ship is not out. So um, one of the ships, one of the ships that I actually two of the ships that I need the Harbinger for, the Sentinel and the Harbinger for, um, are not out yet. So I can keep those in there as long as I want. But the rest of my ships, yeah, I need those. So I need I need a Sulian. Weirdly enough, I need a Sulian to Spartan upgrade. So I need mostly Prospector ones, and then a few Sentinel and Harbinger ones. Yeah. I need an M2. I need a Hull D or a Liberator, which are super rare. I really don't think I'll be getting those. The Hull D is less rare, but the Liberator one, I don't know if I'll get that. So that'll most likely just be Hull D to Merchantman or something like that. But yeah, I need a Hammerhead one because I doubt I'll get an Odyssey, a Nautilus, or a Odyssey or a Nautilus one. So it'll most likely be a Hammerhead upgrade. They normally do those around Invictus as well. So I'm hoping that Invictus I could close out all of my chains because I'm literally just 1 or 2 away in each chain. And I prefer to have closed out chains because then I don't have to worry about it. I stocked up on extra discount Warbond CCUs to make extra CCU chains for future ships a couple of years ago before my country started charging taxes. Oh, okay. Did not know that. So I do the same thing. And you know, it's always good to have a little bit of money in the game that you can just like get out of the game whenever you want. So like sometimes there's little things that I want to purchase, but they're just little things, and I'm like, but I can't justify spending real money on that, right? So if I put, you know, $5 extra or $10 extra into the game every month or something like that, then by the end of the year I have like, you know, anywhere from 60 to 120 extra dollars in the game. So if I want to buy something in the game, I don't have to put in new money. I could just melt some of the things that I for sure won't use and then put it in there. And another reason I do that too is because obviously new ships. You get new ships that come out that, you know, change the way you think about the game or things like that. And sometimes they fill a slot that you can't, like, I don't have a ship in my fleet that I can upgrade to that one. So I would like to have, you know, CCUs kind of ready to get started on getting me to that ship. And then the last reason is because I think if you do it this way, where you just purchase CCUs as they come out, you know, get 1 or 2, then by the time you get to like IAE or something like that, you're not looking all over the place for the deal. You have a few that are probably pretty good CCUs that you collected throughout the year, and you're not, you know, completely dependent on whatever they offer at IAE. So really good strategy there, Citizen Ninja. I've been debating between the Super Hornet or the Scorpius. Would you believe my fleet is a lot of fighters? I would believe that, Blue 4. So why not? Let's do it. Let's do it real quick. I mean, if you're debating about it, I mean, I can't answer the question for you, obviously, but we can certainly look at things in Urkel. And I mean, I'm sure you've already done that, but second opinions are always pretty good. So we will go. I think you said, wait, which one did you say? Hold on. I already forgot. What'd you say? Hornet or the Scorpius? Hornet or the Scorpius? Okay. If you're, we're gonna assume you're talking Super Hornet because you're mentioning those two, this one coming out. So we'll go Super Hornet Mark II. No, that's the Heartseeker. Unless you're talking about the Heartseeker. But either way, we could just do. Where is it? Am I blind right now? Can I not see it? There it is. All right. And we will compare that one to the Scorpius. All right, so you get a metric ton of size 3s with the Scorpius. I think you get a little bit more speed with the Scorpius as well. So this is 215, 465, 240. Yeah, 220, 590, 220. So the boost backward speed is better on the Mark II Super Hornet. But that speed boost forward is crazy on the Scorpius. That's not even close. Scorpius has the speed for sure. Uh, DPS, I think, goes to the Super Hornet. Missile damage goes to the Super Hornet, but it's a very minor advantage. Let's see what else we got. HP 43,000 for the Scorpius, whereas we got, what is that? Oh, massively less. The Scorpius wins the HP and speed battle. We have to wait until this actually releases to confirm this. That does seem kind of low, but at the same time, yeah, it could be true. It could be true. It could be true. And then of course, with the Super Hornet, you get the size 4s, right? So, and then you get the missile turret here, right? We got size 1 shields, size 2 power plant, size 1 coolers, size 1 quantum drive. I'll probably get something similar over here. Oh, and you get more missiles. So this is 12 missiles. So wait, why do those do more damage? Maybe this is wrong. Oh no, it's including these size 1s here. That's why it's the missile damage here. Okay, so that's where. Okay. And then here we get size 2 shield, 2 size 1 power plants, 2 size 1 coolers. Yeah, I think the size 2 shield might be the better. Let's see, it's 551.90, 4740. So I guess not. And then this one, no extra EM signature here, but I do believe you get that with the Super Hornet. Yes, you also get a 2% less physical damage though from the Super Hornet. So yeah, a little bit harder to get through the shields of the Super Hornet, but it looks to me, I guess I see why you have the hesitation for both. The Scorpius does look really good. It looks really good. My only hesitation with the Scorpius is just all of the weapons are size 3s. And I just wish it had a little bit more differentiation. Because for me personally, if I have an F8, let's just throw the F8 in there. Like by myself, I'm doing nearly 2,000 DPS. With a gunner, this one does slightly more DPS. But I mean, I just don't see the reason to get the Scorpius if it's not going to differentiate itself with the weaponry, right? Because this one has size 3s and size 2s, right? This one has size 3s and size 4s, meaning it can punch a little harder than the Scorpius. Get through a little bit more than the Scorpius, right? And I think that is what differentiates it. But obviously the Scorpius has the speed advantage and it has the toughness advantage. And I think that's what you're paying extra for, because if I'm not mistaken, the Scorpius is 240. And I think we don't know what the price of the Super Hornet Mark II is going to be, but I would guess it would be low 200s. I don't think it would be 240, so I would guess it would be cheaper than the Super Hornet Mark II. Or, I'm sorry, it's cheaper than the Scorpius. So if I'm picking between the two, I'm probably, it depends on what I need. And it also depends on if you have one of these. Because I think if you have an F8C Lightning, I don't think you need the Scorpius. And I would lean more towards the Super Hornet. But then again, there's this bad boy. And that's where you get your size 4s. Right? Or did I miss that on the other one? The non-Heartseeker variant. Oh no, we get size 4s, but we get more size 4s on the Heartseeker. So you get more size 4s in replacing these missiles. Missiles are in a bad place anyway, so I'll probably get the Heartseeker. Unless that's like a thing that you specifically want. But yeah, I think if I had another heavy fighter, I would, and it did not have size 4s or size 5s. Like if you have a Guardian, I would say you probably should get the Scorpius because you have the size 5, so you would need the lower end of the heavy fighter spectrum. And if you have an F8C, then, or even an F7, if you have an F7A, I think I also would probably go with the Scorpius. Let's add the F7A in there. Because then you get the size 4s from the F7A. So you don't need the size 4s from your Super Hornet Mark II as much because you have the F7A. But this, I mean, it's definitely a close one. I guess I would lean Scorpius if you're sitting between the two. Because one of the reasons I want the Super Hornet Mark II Heartseeker is specifically because it's rare. So it's not as much of a fight for me because even though I do like the look of the Scorpius, whole S-Wing or X-Wing vibes, and which is, what was the saying that they said? Was it lower the S foils or retract the S foils? Is that what they said? Anyway, for me, I specifically want a variant of the Super Hornet Mark II. So that's why I don't have this internal conflict, but I definitely can see why people would be trying to choose between the two. A metric ton of size 3s, or a size 3, size 4 combination. It really depends on how do you fly. So this one, I do think this one is, you don't want to really get hit in the Super Hornet. But at the same time, we know about the Scorpius that those wings, once those wings come off, you lose the guns. And don't get me wrong, your wings can come off of your Super Hornet as well. So I don't know. If I had to choose between the two, it would depend on what other ships you have. And that would probably do it for me. Raygun says, there are ships we don't even know about, and that we don't know we'll be excited for. Yes. We don't know what we don't know, Ray. We don't know what we don't know. And we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we do. We know what we know, but we don't know what we don't know. But if we knew what we didn't know, then we would know, and either way, we'd be excited. Archimedes. Archimedes. Make Kruger great. So pronounce it Archimedes. Archimedes. That's like did Archimedes I'm pretty sure so they get these names. I'm pretty sure they get the names from um Merlin. What is it? The Sword in the Stone from back. I think that was in the 60s or 70s. So the Merlin was trying to teach young Arthur uh, like lessons about certain things, and he kept changing Arthur into these animals because Merlin was a wizard, and kept changing him into these animals, right? And he had a pet animal that could talk named Archimedes. So Merlin and Archimedes. So I'm pretty sure that's where they got it from. And I'm pretty sure Merlin in The Sword in the Stone did pronounce it Archimedes. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure on that. So yeah, I got to go check that out. It's on Disney Plus or something. So, which ships do you think will get the Coromor paint this year? I have no idea. It seems fairly random to me, but I would guess two-seater ships. Like my guess is always two-seater ships. Like ships that have, because the idea is like a ship that you would fly with another person. So I would think any seats with, or any ships with two crew or more. So let me take a look real quick. I don't know. I also can't remember which ships already got, like already have the skins. So like the C2 would be a good one. The C1, I think that one has already got one though. The A1, all of the Vanguards. No, well you could do the Vanguard Warden, the Sentinel, the Harbinger, yeah. The Reliant Tana, all the Reliants, I think, have two beds. I mean, technically it shouldn't matter, but I mean, I guess it would be one bed in certain ships that have that double bed. For Coromor, if it's somebody that, like your wife or your husband or something. So the Raft, I believe, already has it. You can do all the Cutlass. Pretty sure they already have it. The Apollos would be good, but yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of. Canada doesn't charge taxes for digital goods if the company doesn't earn more than 1 million a year, but I saw CIG's revenue rising and was like, might as well get some extra CCUs now instead of later and have to pay taxes on them. That's a pretty good strategy. Do they not make more than 1 million a year though? I thought they already earned 1 million, more than 1 million a year. Yeah, because they had like a single day that was 2 million. What's up, Rhino? The little Ronnie, what's up? The first time you tried Pirate Swarm and AC was in a Scorpius, didn't die once and finished it in 45 minutes. That's what I like to see. Diabetes. All right. They started earning more than 1 million in 2022. Okay. Burger Pops, you have a glaive? Shout out to you. The only way I would get a glaive is if the meta like heavily shifted. I normally don't buy ships for the meta, but that's the only way, because $350 for a fighter is way too much for me. And I don't even like, I do like the way the glaive looks, but I like the newer version of the glaive, like the one that they haven't released yet. But yeah, I think that's big for me. Is I don't particularly like the interior of the glaive. That's the thing that kind of holds me back. You said Arthur Vanderlei paying in Japanese yen like a real ninja. I get it. What's up, Shimpasta? Yes, the Kraken. The Kraken. We all are excited for the Kraken. Ooh, let's do a thing. Let's do a thing. Which ship are you more excited for? The Kraken or the Perseus? Which ship are you more excited for? Here, let's can we do a poll? Yeah, let's do a poll. Bam. I don't know how to do them in how do we do this? Oh, I think you just go bam. All right. Hop on that and let me know what you think. Kraken or Perseus? Which one are you more excited for? My guess is it's going to be the Kraken. Or actually no, the Perseus. I think most people are going to vote Perseus. And then I'll tell you which one I'm more excited for at the end. Okay. It's all Perseus on Twitch. I'll let people fill out the poll, and I'll look up the answer to another question I see here. Let me see what I think. Kraken or Perseus? I'm probably, that's interesting. That's a good question. All right, so it was definitely Perseus in Twitch. What do we got over here? All right, we're gonna end it. And Kraken won over by a hair. It looks like it won by one vote over on YouTube. Yeah, it looks like it won by either one or two votes. Okay. No, because there's 13 votes, so it had to have won by one vote. So look at that. More dreamers on YouTube than Twitch. Okay, so I am actually more excited for the Kraken. And I think I'm more excited for the Kraken because the Perseus, while incredible, right? I think it's probably the best looking ship in all of Star Citizen. When I think of what it adds to the game, versus what the Kraken adds to the game. I think people will be flying their Krakens around a lot. A lot of the time when people fly their Krakens around, they'll have all of their friends on the same ship with them because their friends can bring the other ships with them, right? So like you can fit you can fit 6 ships on top of the thing, right? If you get the larger ships, right? And you could probably fit more, but we're gonna say 6, right? So if you have a group of friends and they all want to bring a ship, you just say, hey, you can all bring your ship. Just pop your ship on top of the Kraken and we'll just fly around. And yeah, whenever you want to get in your ship and leave, you can. You could just go up top, hop in your ship, and fly away. And I think that is like a unique type of gameplay that we just don't have yet. You know, and it's the same thing with the Liberator, but to a lesser extent, right? You know, just being able to hop in your ship and go, I think is going to be a really cool thing that brings a lot more people together. As far as like, we always talk about people saying they want to bring their own ship, but what if you could do both? What if you could hop in a ship with someone else and put your ship? Obviously, you could do it with the Polaris. You could put your ship in the hangar. So, yeah. So to me, I think that's why I'm a little bit more excited for the Kraken. But which one am I more excited to fly? The Perseus. I'm more excited for the Kraken overall, the concept of the Kraken, but I'm way more excited to fly the Perseus. I just think it'll be more fun to fly and do damage in that thing. The best gunship out of the Deemer, Paladin, or the A2. It's the A2 is the best out of those 3, but only if it's fully crewed. You can operate the Paladin without being fully crewed. You only need 2 people for the Paladin. The Deemer would be 3rd place either way. But best gunship, currently it would be the A2, I think. If we consider the A2 a gunship, but it's $750. So it loses the value portion of this quite handily. You could say the Andromeda. You know, the cheapest one is the Miz, but I wouldn't say that that's the best. I don't think anybody considers the Miz the best gunship. The Andromeda is the cheapest I would go. I would have said the Corsair as far as pilot control guns, but they took some of those away. But if we're assuming full crews on all of these, then I'm probably, I mean, the TAC will be the best when it comes out, because it has the medical, so it's not just a gunship. It's a, you know, gunship, dropship, medical. And I think it can carry the most, no, it can carry the same amount of cargo as the Andromeda, so it's right in that. I think it'll be really interesting to see TAC versus Andromeda in that scenario. But yeah, of the ones you said, I would go with the A2. And the Starlancer TAC with the 2 size 5 turrets at 330, I have to give it the edge over the A2 because of the price. I mean, you could get a Starlancer TAC for like what? If you do I'll call there's 2 different versions of CCU chaining. Like there's the very patient kind where you could probably save $200 on a $300 ship. And then there's the not so patient kind where you just do it over the course of 1 year, or maybe even slightly less than that, and you take whatever you get and then you apply them. I'm more of in that second category with most of my ships. There's a few ships that I'm in that first category with, but for the most part, I'm more in the second category where it's like, I want to save a significant amount of money, but once I get to the halfway point where I've saved 50% on a ship, at that point I'm okay. I'm good. Like I'll try to save more money, but I'm not going to be pressed to save more money. So yeah, I would go with the TAC as far as concepts that have not released yet. I would go with the TAC. As far as in game, if we're including the A2, I would say it's the better one when you exclude value. When you do include value, I would say the Andromeda is the best. It's $60 cheaper than a Paladin and has size 4 weapons. It has the size 5 weapons on it. And if it's fully crewed, which we're assuming it is, then you have the co-pilot, and then what, I don't remember what the other weapons are. I think is it size 3s or something on the Andromeda? I can't even remember. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, size 3 turrets on the Andromeda. And it has 2 of those. But then again, the Paladin has size 4s, but it also has significantly less missiles. So that's why I give the edge to the Andromeda. So, but it's close. It's close. We have to wait till the Paladin gets in game. The Paladin, I think, will be able to get on target easier, so it might end up winning. You can only get excited for ships that you expect to release in the next 12 months. I respect the heck out of that. What's up, Paglamia? The Hammerhead, no. Because to me, the Hammerhead is more of a specific type of ship. It really is only good at shooting down fighters. And I think to be the best gunship, you have to be better at more things. Do I expect the Crucible to increase in size and price? Yes. Do you think there will be a future ship in between it and the Vulcan? Yes. All right, so my answer to both of those questions is yes. All right, we only got a few more minutes on the stream, so pop those questions in that you have, and I will try to get through all of them. Let me go back to YouTube, see what you guys got over here too. Pick 2 out of 3. Yes, lock S foils in attack position. That's what I was trying to think of. Thank you, Radium. What's up, Grabble Pit? What else? Who else we got in here? JC, what's up? Red Samurai, what's up? Victor, Squall, Leonhart. Is that from Final Fantasy? That sounds like it's from Final Fantasy. Squall sounds like Final Fantasy 8 or 10. Was it 8 or 10? Was there a Final Fantasy 9? Why do I not remember 9? Did they go straight from 8 to 10? And was Squall the character from 8 or 10? Oh, I can Google that later. Anyway, back to the questions. Pick 2 out of 3. F8C, Guardian QI, Heartseeker. Out of those 3, I get to pick 2? It really depends on what my goals are, because the Guardian QI has size 5s on it. Neither one of the others has size 5s on it. And the Guardian QI, I think, is more specific in its purpose, whereas you're really shooting up with the Guardian QI. Like, the Guardian QI to me is I'm shooting at something as slow as me or slower. The Heartseeker to me is more of an all-arounder, and so is the F8C. Also, do you have another person to play with? Because if you don't, then the F8C and the Guardian QI are the better. But if you do have a second person to play with, then the Heartseeker, and I would probably go Heartseeker and F8C. I think the Guardian QI feels like the odd one out, so I would pick the F8C and the Heartseeker. Again, I think it depends on what your goals are, because the F8C and the Heartseeker also are very closely related in their firepower, except I don't. We just looked this up actually. Yeah, the F8C doesn't have size 4s, But the Super Hornet Mark II does have size 4s. So if you're looking to shoot something like a bigger, slightly bigger target, then I would say you're taking out the Super Hornet Mark II. And then if you're, dealing more with fighters or smaller targets, then I would say you're taking out the F8C. Whereas the Guardian QI seems specifically for same size or larger targets. And because it's more specific, that makes it more niche, which means I would go with the other two. I want to ride the tram on the Kraken. Yeah. Perseus versus Ironclad? Ooh, that's a good one. Perseus versus Ironclad. That is a good one. What's up, Panzer? So it was from 8. Okay. I thought it was from 8. That was my first thought. Is this from 8? All right, folks. We have come to the conclusion of this stream. Get your last questions in while I pick someone to jump to. We have to jump to someone. Let's go to Citizen Spooner. I don't know if I'm already following Citizen Spooner. I am not. So yeah, let's jump to Citizen Spooner. At some point I'm going to run out of people to jump to that are new. I mean, new to me, not new to Star Citizen. Looks like they're doing contested zones over there. So that'll be cool. I do generally jump to people who do gameplay because I know after sitting here and listening to me drone, you're probably like, all right, let's find somebody who's actually playing the game. let's find somebody who's doing something with their life. All right. All right. The raid has been created for Citizen Spooner. I don't see any new questions, so I think I've answered everybody's questions. Shout out to everybody who watched today. Even if you came in late, it's all good. Shout out to people who donated today. Shout out for taking place in the poll. I appreciate everybody who watches. Everybody have a good one. I will see you in the next one, which should be Wednesday. We'll see how quickly I can get home, but we'll probably do that one around 1 p.m. on Wednesday. That'll be the next time that I stream, most likely. I will have that Guardian review out at some point, or not Guardian, Fortune, Miss Fortune, yeah. All right, see you guys later.